So I'm just sheltering under a tree and listening to the beautiful sound of the rain on the leaves. And to me, that really does feel like an affirmation of life and makes me feel well, makes me feel vibrant, makes me feel part of all this. One of the things is that we are not just taking in the food that we eat, although there's a lot of emphasis on that these days, and the energy of that food. There's the energy that's all around. It could be what energy a human being emanates. We live in an electrical universe, so everything has an aura, everything has a spiritual body, I believe, and that's, I guess, a bit akin to animism. So it's everything, it's our thoughts, our thought processes, and our entire body is receiving these pulses. I studied hypnotherapy, and we have neural pathways in our mind, and if we go over those certain negative neural pathways, and that's what we reinforce. So it's just the same, with how we perceive everything. And recently Tim spoke about karma and that he believed in karma. And there is definitely consequences of our actions, not just on others, but also on ourselves. And sometimes it's very hard to believe when we look at all the political situations and the injustice and corruption going on in the world. What's going on in Gaza with this genocide is just beyond comprehension, isn't it? And the fact that they've just invited, the Israeli leader to London, arresting, elderly people on the streets for standing up against the genocide, convicting an innocent woman, Lucy Letby, for multiple murders. It feels really like the world has gone crazy. So, the whole thing of karma, that's tied in with Buddhism. I do believe that, life goes around, energies go around, that there is such a thing as reincarnation. Even Willy Nelson talks about coming back as a drop of rain. And my mum, as she's aging, I mentioned her before, she's become obsessed with Willy Nelson and his beautiful long hair and, playing guitar. But I think there's something quite reassuring to my mum, who's 87 now, to her, that she may come back as a drop of rain or a leaf or an insect or an animal. And I think there's really a place for that. So a lot of wellness is also to do with peace of mind. And, the struggle is to care, but to basically stand into our own sovereignty, and especially as empaths, especially as highly sensitive people. Anyway, that's quite a lot of rambling from Amanda Ambles today, but it's good to be back out in the woods, speaking my mind, speaking my truths, and, I'd love to hear, your idea of what wellness is for you, and wonder. How do you fill your life with wonder and wellness? Loads of love to you. Have a beautiful day, wonder-filled day. Take care. Bye.